everyone, this is Jonathan Stone with Expanding Visions Foundation. Thanks for joining in again this week. This is week 6 of our Career Institute class at the Ohio State University Libraries. This week is going to be a very interesting class because we're going to be having mock interviews for our students. This is a very important experience for these students because a lot of them have never interviewed before. So they're going to be getting tips and learning methods they can use in live interviews. We've got 8 HR professionals that are here, and they're going to be able to walk these students through what an actual interview process will be like. So we ask that you enjoy the show. If you do, like it, comment, send us questions, and as always, share and follow us at Expanding Visions Foundation.
Tell me a little bit about yourself.
I am 18 years old. I go to a career center, Columbus Downtown High School. I am in the culinary program. I maintain a 3.0 to a 4.0 GPA average, maintaining an accumulative of 3.8. Want to become an entrepreneur in college. That's my major. Minor in band. I've done band for 3 years. I have a certification in Pro Start for culinary. I also have a CPR and first aid certification as well. I'm just trying to find ways and avenues to get into the business side of things so I can do and maneuver into my entrepreneurship as my career. My biggest strength would possibly be teamwork, responsibility, loyalty.
There's nothing challenging about working with people because, as I said, I'm a very sociable person, and there's nothing wrong with working alone because if you can't do anything solo, how are you going to do anything at all?
That's true. What do you think are your biggest strengths?
My leadership and my confidence.
Why are you interested in an internship?
Because I feel like it's a good way to implement my time during the summer. Because if I can benefit myself and OSU, then that's a good way to spend my time.
So tell me about the accomplishment that you're most proud of.
Right now, I'm passing all my classes and I'm doing good in school. I'm not getting in trouble and I had to be serious about it because it's my future. Everything that I do depends on how my future will end up.
So good at customer service management as well. Okay.
Good with kids. Very organized.
Okay.
I like to keep busy.
Can you tell me about a time where you've worked in a group? What made that group difficult? How you handled it? What was your role?
They gave us a group project.
Okay.
They put me as a leader because the teacher saw that my scores were good. I met with the teacher and the teacher explained what I should do because it's a group project, we'll have the same score. So I followed the teacher's advice and we all work together as a team.
What about Excel?
Excel, I know there's a lot of tricks to that.
Right.
But if I have a question, I'll just ask.
Okay. So just kind of a general basic knowledge of Excel and its functions. Okay, gotcha.
I really enjoy helping people, connecting with people, and me coming from a different background than other people and learning things that I didn't know and teaching them things they didn't know.
What do you want to do with your marketing degree?
I want to go into the field of public relations, making advertisements for companies.
All right, nice. Can you tell me about a time where maybe you've had a disagreement with someone?
Often, very often. Me and my siblings have disagreements. Okay. And by doing that, sometimes when they have disagreements as well, I try to step in and separate them. And then I ask them what I did wrong to maybe upset them or anger them. And then next time, I try not to do that same thing over again.
Have you held any type of leadership position?
Yes, for the youth camp, I'm connection crew, which is not youth staff yet, but because we can't get paid. But it is the lower level who helps with the middle school children and helping them, in the name, connect.
Hi everyone, I am Curtis Williams. I work with JP Morgan Chase. I've worked 10 years with Chase. As I go to all the job fairs in the community on behalf of Chase, I go to community events on behalf of Chase as well, and talk to interested people that want to come to our company and try to find a way for them to apply and get in with us. The job before this, I actually was a hiring manager. So for 8 hours a day, I would interview people, all types of people. So what you're doing is fantastic. It is great that you're getting an early start on this.
I'm a retiree, and I build airplanes for the Boeing company for 35 years. So along during that time, I had quite a few interviews, and I interviewed quite a bit of times too, quite a few times. So I loved it. The people that I spoke with, you guys did a great job, even though I tried to make you feel as comfortable as possible, because like she said, it's a journey, so I wasn't like Mr. Interview person. I wanted you to feel good, and I intervened a few times to say, when you start interviewing for real, there will be certain things that you'll do.
I'm Director of Human Resources for Make-A-Wish. We grant wishes to children with life-threatening illness. In case you haven't heard of us, it is quite, and we're not supposed to use the word magical, but it is quite magical. Before that, I spent 15 years at JP Chase, where I had just an amazing career. I had a huge staff that I got the pleasure of managing, about 200 individuals. And I really enjoyed my time there, but knew that it was time for my journey to continue. And as Ms. Brooks has pointed out, and we've heard already once, it really is truly a journey. All of you, the folks that I spoke to, let's see here, Elena, Princess, Faith, you did an amazing job. So impressed with you. And I already heard one person mention smiling through it. Sometimes, that is a really, really important thing to bring to the interview, is just smiling and look like you're relaxed and enjoying the experience when inside, because I know I still get a little nervous myself when I'm being interviewed, and that's okay, but just try to relax and breathe and smile and gain that self-awareness to show you the very best version of you. So I don't have anything but positive things to say about my experience with the 3 young ladies that I talked to. So great job.
Abercrombie & Fitch. I've been there for like the past 8 months. Prior to that, I was at Victoria's Secret and Bath & Body Works. I think this opportunity for you guys is tremendous. I'm sitting back thinking, like, when I was 17, 18, to have this practice, I didn't have it. And to be in a situation right now, we're afforded the opportunity where, one, you're in a room full of professionals, totally different across Fortune 500 companies in Central Ohio. So it's a big opportunity for you guys. I don't know if you realize how big it is, but interview-wise, we'll go over some feedback. I think the biggest question that someone asked me is, what was your dress like? Because I remember talking to Shellie on the way here. When I was at Bath & Body Works and Victoria's Secret, my comfort zone was this, what you see everyone else wearing. But when I came to Abercrombie, they were like, hey, look, do not show up in an interview like that. And so really knowing what the expectations of the job environment is really a key, because I would have been an outcast had I showed up to work like this. Like, this is my comfort zone, this is not. But yet, so just as you go and you get familiar with just the culture and just interviewing itself, I think you guys did a very good job as far as just asking some of the questions and getting to know your audience and the potential job that you're going to be looking for this way. So good job.
I am in information technology sales / recruiting / client facing / involved in the community, getting our young people more involved in IT. That's a passion of mine. Prior to that, I was a director at United Way of Central Ohio. We all know what United Way is. And public sector campaigns, which led me to my career point right now, where I'm responsible for everything public sector, our public sector vertical from an IT perspective. So I work a lot with directors, CIOs, CTOs, chief information officers, chief technology officers, and again, trying to get them engaged and getting our young people more involved in STEM programs and in IT. The 2 young ladies I interviewed, Brielle and Joy, were amazing. The feedback I give you, relax, take deep breaths, do your research. We have technology at our fingertips nowadays. I always tell people from a recruiting standpoint, when I'm sending my candidates out on interviews, to look on LinkedIn. Know something about that person that's interviewing you. Know something about the company, because an interview should never be uncomfortable. It should be a conversation. And that's kind of hard, and you grow into that space. But other than that, this is a great program. Thank you, Shellie, for the invitation. And I think 2 young ladies I talked to did an amazing job.
I was a staffing manager at Accloche Professional Staffing. My job description is pretty similar to Curtis. I would hire, sit through lots and lots of interviews, attend off-site job fairs and things along those lines. interviewing people for various forms of professional employment. Presently, I work in operations for a company called RGP. It is a global consulting firm. I do a lot of the similar tasks to my previous job. However, there's more onboarding and training and development and dealing with benefits and things along those lines. So I've been there about 3 years. I really like it. So yeah, that's kind of what I do in a nutshell. And the individuals that I interviewed today, of course, all three of you guys did a great job. I echo what's been said, just as far as, just take a deep breath, relax. You don't want to rehearse too much, because you can kind of tell when you rehearse what you're going to say. So just, just make sure you have great questions, research the company, and just relax and be yourself.
I am Shellie Lewis, and my husband and I started Expanding Visions Foundation. So we are excited to have yet another great group of students come through this program. I have a couple of questions. So who remembered to do the handshake? Who remembered eye contact? Good, good. And the other thing is, I heard someone say they wanted to work at Kroger's, right? And so we've talked a lot about doing some research and knowing the brand. So if you go into Kroger and say, I want to work at Kroger's, Kroger's with an S is not their brand. So that's some of the little things that can catch you in an interview that would make someone say, maybe they don't belong here. So when you're doing your company research, just make sure you understand the correct pronunciation of the organization. As Howard was talking about, the correct dress. When he walked into Abercrombie, they said, don't wear a suit. And I know that's something that we preach in this institute is interview attire, interview attire, interview attire. And so, but you have to know the brand that you're working with. So I appreciate Ms. Nina, Jason, Dr. Devese for all of their work, and just wish you all well. Are you all feeling like you're ready for your interviews for the summer internship program here at Ohio State? How many of you want that internship? Okay, and there's what, 10 slots? So you got to be competitive and bring your best game for your interview, right? So between now and then, you have Ms. Nina, you have Mr. Jason, and you need to fine-tune some things. If there's some things that you did in the interview based on feedback that maybe I shouldn't do in a real interview, just start practicing that. The more you do it, the easier it becomes.
Hey, it's Jonathan again. We hope that you enjoyed today's class. Hopefully you were able to learn some new interviewing techniques and some tips that you can use on your own live interviews. If so, we'd love to hear what you learned or what you really liked from today's class. Please leave us a comment, like, share, and also please follow us at Expanding Visions Foundation.